Hey guys, Brother Justin here from Charity Baptist Church. Now from this moment on, I want to talk about some specific tips of sharing the gospel at someone's door. But before that, I want to mention a very important subject. And that is, when you're preaching the gospel, that is a conversation, not a speech. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. Now, when someone first learns to start presenting the gospel, they memorize the script and they are memorizing what verse they are going to say. Now, that's totally fine, but just make sure you are actually having a conversation with the person you are talking to, because when you are sharing the gospel, it is a personal experience. It is a personal conversation. Don't turn that into a speech, okay? Don't just go over the point, for all have sinned, check. For the wages of sin is death, check. Don't do that. Actually make a conversation, make it personal. You have to relate to the person you are talking to. Now, someone want to be a missionary in a foreign country. Say if someone want to go to a Hispanic country to share the gospel, they might learn Spanish. Now, the thing a person should never do is to memorize the Spanish gospel presentation and that's it. We should learn the language because you have to be able to communicate with other people. If you just learn the gospel, if you just memorize the gospel presentation in English or in another language, it means nothing. Maybe you can get someone saved, maybe 1 out of 100 people, but it is not as efficient as being able to learn the language, okay? Now, I am learning Spanish right now. I am memorizing the gospel presentation in Spanish, but at the same time, I'm also learning the language using Duolingo and podcast and Pimsleur, trying to be able to have an actual conversation with other people. Now, throughout the series, I'm going to tell you how I personally share the gospel with other people. Now, you don't have to follow the exact same way that I'm sharing the gospel, but the things I want you to know is the things I'm going to share with you are all coming from my personal experience from knocking on doors, sharing the gospel with other people. So if you are a beginner, please memorize my techniques, but make it your own, okay? Maybe when you become an experienced soul winner, you can add on to your own touch. Maybe you can use your own illustration. Maybe you can also use some extra verses to prove a certain point. So there's no fixed gospel presentation. The key point is make sure you get every single point across. That you have to make sure that person is really understanding the gospel message, because believing on Christ, getting saved, is not just the head knowledge. You have to transfer this knowledge to the heart. Salvation is not just believing that Jesus Christ died for you. You have to put your trust on Him, believe on Him alone for salvation. So the key point for this video is make sure when you are presenting the gospel, it is a conversation, not a speech. God bless you. Have a nice day.